Hi, I'm Brian Martin, and I'm doing some reading today. And my readings are from my books. The book that I'm reading from today, hi, I'm Brian Martin, in case you just joined us. I'm doing some readings. I have been doing readings from my books for some time now. I have several books that I have shared with you in the past. You may remember not too long ago, I read to you The Eternity is the Ian Love book, which is a really fine book. I love it. And also, I have shared with you the Kindness is the Most Powerful Thing in the World book, and a couple other books that I have written is A Fun Loving How to Have a Practically Perfect Relationship, and My Ideal Day of Love, which is a wonderful kind of a quick read focusing on specific items, and it's a nice book. The Oxytocin book is called Oxytocin is the O in Love. It's not yet published, it will be soon. And the subtitle is Maintaining and Growing Your Emotional Connections. So it's a really important book. And we are in the section called Learning How to Control Your Thoughts. And in this section, we talked about what a thought is. We talked about thinking about ego. We did a side trip on LSD. Well, actually, we just wrote about it. We didn't actually do it. And then I wrote about controlling your fight and your flee response and how that helped me learn how to control my thoughts better. And then we also talked about controlling your thoughts on sleepless nights. And today we're going to share with you controlling System 1 thoughts with System 2 thoughts. This is a really incredible section. I don't think that people understand how much control we have over our thoughts. And controlling your thoughts is an essential component for having emotional connection, emotional intimacy with other people. And so this is really great material, and you'll probably not find this anywhere else. So when you get the book, I'll tell you about it, and then we'll make some kind of a special arrangement between you and me. Okay, this is called Controlling System 1 Thoughts with System 2 Thoughts. Here we go. Now, this is really important. Two kinds of thoughts are System 1 thoughts and System 2 thoughts. Daniel Kahneman, the well-known author and Nobel laureate, refers to these as thinking fast and thinking slow. Kahneman's book by the same name, Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow, is an important book in my library. There is a psychology around System 1 and System 2, but I use them as a metaphor for controlling thoughts. So I really want to make that distinction. It's really a good read. Buy Kahneman's book, Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow. It's just full of all kinds of neat insights. I'm using it as a metaphor for how to control your thoughts more effectively. As I became more aware of the thoughts, I labeled it as System 1 or System 2 thoughts. This simple process gives me tremendous control. System 1 thoughts, feelings, and emotions are our instantaneous reactions to an event. They come almost before you are aware of them. They are quick and easy. A classic example of System 1 thought is this easy equation. Are you ready? Listen. What is 1 plus 1? Now, even before you saw the question mark in the book, I'm sure that you complete the sentence. System 1 sees a smile and automatically smiles back faster than you are aware of. There are System 1 thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Most people assume that because they are the first thought, that they represent the real truth. The reason they reason that because they are the automatic thoughts, that they come deep from within. some imagined seat of real, honest truth hidden deep in the center of the psyche, and therefore they are the real and the honest. Those first thoughts are the real and the honest thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Has this ever happened to you before? You'll be talking away and maybe get a little angry, and something slips out of your mouth like an unexpected fart. As soon as you say it, you regret it. Too late. The fact is, it left your lips, is instantly acknowledged by you and the other. They label it as your true feeling. The stink of that thought lingers uncomfortably for a long time. Or this: have you ever had an emotional conversation and you say something that you immediately realize is not what you meant to say, and you try to take it back, but because it's out there now, it's difficult for you to say, that's not what I really meant to say? And what you said actually hurt the other? They believe that what you said is the truth because it just organically came out of your honest and your real feelings. You try to backtrack. You even apologize. You assure them that that is not really how you feel. But the damage is done. That, my dear friend, is system 1 thinking. And here's the thing. It did come from a deep place, a deep part of your brain, which was temporarily disconnected from your executive, managing, calculating part of your brain. The part of your brain that takes more time to process. System 2. System 2 is a slower process. System 2 is calculating. When the automatic thought pops in the head, System 2 will run it through a thought process. Will run the thought through a process. The classic example of System 2 is solving this difficult equation. One that almost needs a pencil and a paper to figure out. It takes more time to figure it out. It takes more brain power. It takes more control. System 2 is more of a product of your neocortex. The managing, the planning, the calculated, the forward thinking, the creative part of your brain. It's right here between these two fingers, and it's that little area between there, and it goes back. It's only a little, not very thick either. So, System 2 is the realm of awareness. System 2 is the observer. System 1 is reactionary and impulsive. Have you ever met someone who just speaks the flow of their unconscious stream without processing it? Quote, "Oh, look, now that's a beautiful white flower. I bet you it smells good. Too bad the Lakers lost last night. That's 2 in a row. The next time I go to the grocery store, I need to pick up some toilet paper. Have you ever been to Hearst Castle? I hate the way Barbara's son talks to her." End of quote. It is as if they don't have a filter. I used to judge them. What's wrong with them? Doesn't he realize that he has no filter on? Their System 1 is constantly on. Many people are simply unaware. What's surprising to me is how many people talk like that. I had to stop judging them because they actually do not realize that they have no filter. System 2 acts as the filter. It filters out the easy, not so well thought out thinking, feelings, and emotions. This does not mean that system 2 is always true or right or correct. It seems like we have a fetish about what is true and what is right and what is correct. System 2 can make mistakes and come to the wrong conclusion. I remember one time when my system 2 was wrong, back in the 1980s. I didn't get 100% on my Algebra 2 high school exam, but I passed. By the way, I graduated high school in the 70s, not in the 80s. Nevertheless, knowing that you have, okay, so let me back up because I got sidetracked. System 2 is not 100% correct about all things. Nevertheless, knowing that you have a system 1 and system 2 thinking fast and thinking slow, and labeling your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions is a great way to gain more control. System 1 is not bad, and System 2 is not good. System 2 is not right, and System 1 wrong. There is a fun and spontaneous element to thinking. It is a quick, playful banter, teasing, joking aspect of System 1. System 2 can be fun too. Jennifer's mother, June, loved to play April Fool's tricks on Jack. One year, she moved his car out of the garage and down the block. And when he went to go to work, he couldn't believe that his car was gone. "Where's my car?" Jack asked. June said, "Someone must have stolen the car." Jack started to call the police to report the car stolen. And June pronounced, "April Fools!" That was funny. And she would laugh. And so would Jack, eventually. That was June's calculated System 2 process. When I'm with Jennifer, I want to be aware of her thinking, feelings, and emotions. If she says something to me, I want to know if it's a System 1 process or a System 2 process. If it is a System 1 process, I'm going to make a note of it, and I'm going to make a decision about how to respond to it. Based on the situation, I'm going to decide what is more appropriate, System 1 or System 2. This gives me a tremendous amount of control over my thinking, my feelings, and my emotions. We're going to continue on to the next section, control your thoughts by eliminating 100% of your negative thinking. There is a theological exercise called via negativa, where one thinks about what God is not. Rather than considering God's attributes, one removes as much as possible of what God is not. God is not evil. God is not human. God is not mortal. You get the idea. It is a challenging exercise. I twist that idea into the realm of love. Here, I remove all of the aspects of my life that is not loving. I remove the negative and I replace it with love. In this worldview, the opposite of negativity is not positivity, as you might expect, as in math or science. The opposite of negativity is love in my worldview. My goal is to remove every negative thought, feeling, and emotion, 100% of them, and replace them with loving thoughts, feelings, and emotions. This is a very challenging exercise. My first subject was Jennifer. Through a series of growth experiences with her, which I'll explain in another section, I made it my goal to eliminate 100% of my negative thoughts about her. Yes, I had negative thoughts about my beloved. They were distracting me in multiple ways from living a rich and a meaningful life. Very briefly, let me say this. Negative thoughts keep people from using their creative, innovative, future planning, problem-solving part of their brain because the focus is on the negative. It is very difficult, dare I say, impossible, to think loving thoughts when one is thinking negative thoughts. When I remove the negative, I am free to be everything I can possibly be. And here is the kicker. When I am free to be everything I can possibly be by removing my negative thoughts, Jennifer feels safe in my presence. And you know how I feel about safety. I am not a threat. She does not need to be guarded or put up a wall of protection, and she can be free to everything that she wants to be when I control my negativity. Eliminating my negative thoughts wasn't only good for me, but it was good for Jennifer. And as a matter of fact, everyone around me. So I told Jennifer, and I tell her this often, I only think loving thoughts about you all the time. There is a problem with this process. I have not yet quite figured out how to be loving 100% of the time. I'm making progress. My problem probably has something to do with being human and needing to protect myself with my wall of protection, which sometimes can be used as a protective weapon. In fact, when I don't feel safe, that primal animal fight or flee process can do some pretty unloving things. My ability to use my neocortex to manage and control my negativity is greater than I can imagine, but it is not unlimited. Sometimes I delude myself and I think that I am superhuman. I know that's hard to believe. LOL. I have a hard time with that too. LOL again. Sometimes I have so much fun with this. Limited though I may be, my capacity to be more loving is greater than I can imagine, and I want to eliminate negativity. The goal of eliminating 100% of negativity in my life is a compelling and a challenging exercise, and the benefits are greater than I am aware of. So, game on. Just to be clear, let me define negative thinking for you. It is any thought that is not loving. Being critical is negative. Someone may say, well, what about constructive criticism? Oh, don't get me going on constructive criticism. The term constructive criticism is an oxymoron. Constructive criticism is an antiquated technique thought to help some people, it's thought to help someone improve by pointing out their faults, their weaknesses, or their growth areas. There exist vastly better ways to help someone improve. To continue to use constructive criticism is not only bad, it may actually be harmful to the one needing growth. The ancient art of physicians bleeding patients to make them well in medicine is what constructive criticism is to helping people grow today. All criticism is negative, as is judging in the attempt to demean or make a person look smaller or less significant, shaming and self-shame is negative. Name-calling and, of course, contempt is negative. Aggressive and passive-aggressive thoughts and actions are negative. Envy and is negative. Everything that is not loving is negative. Competition is not negative. Competition is not overcoming another. It is improving oneself to the highest degree. Arguing is not negative. Arguing is demonstrating a truth a better way. Disagreeing is not negative. Beating the other, humiliating, lifting up self by making others smaller, less significant, inferior, or dominating them is negative. Leading others is not negative. Neither is following the leader. Leading others is extremely challenging, demanding, difficult. Sacrificing circumstances to victory is not negative. Forcing service is negative. Punitive actions are archaic, antiquated, and negative. Restoration, reformation, training, and retraining for the common good is loving. Slavery is more than negative. It is evil. Demanding is negative. Desire is not negative, except at someone's expense. Passion is definitely not negative. Mutually fulfilling passion is loving. The thin line between negative and loving is often not so clear. The line between steadfastness and stubbornness or obstinance may be in the eyes of the beholder. Here, virtue or love is found in the process, which may lead to a disagreement or a dilemma. These edges are important and should not be ignored. They are more common than people are comfortable with. Being uncomfortable is not necessarily negative and may lead to growth, which is loving. My desire to eliminate 100% of negativity in my life is to free myself and the other to use as much of our capabilities, our gifts, our skills, our talents, and our tools to the highest degree, possibly for our own benefit and for the benefit of others. This is love. This is what makes the world safe. This is what empowers others, even Jennifer, to lower the wall of protection and to be fully live. Eliminating 100% is so challenging that I had to add a caveat to my script. I think good things about Jennifer 100% of the time. The added part is this: except when I don't. Then I catch myself, stop, and continue thinking loving thoughts 100% of the time. Imagine your world with no negative thoughts. Imagine only thinking loving thoughts all the time. That's it for today. And so today we covered control your thoughts through system, control your system 1 thoughts with system 2 thoughts, control your thoughts by eliminating your negative thinking. And next week we will continue with controlling your thoughts with breathing. Hey, give me a little while and I will upload these into my YouTube channel where you can find all of these videos. The entire book so far is there, including the entire ebook and including the video blog that I have called What Was Jesus Thinking? And if you'll come back a little bit later on, I'll share with you the video, the link to YouTube. I'm Brian Martin, and thank you for joining me for another reading from Oxytocin is the O in Love. Thanks for your good comments and your good thoughts. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.